Good evening, good night, good morning, Bell Parasitomites. It's been a long while. Boy, has life taken its toll and happened? Time does not permit me to get into everything, but God has been good. I'm still standing. So I give him thanks and praise. I know that you too have had a lot of challenges, still going through lots of challenges. But I recognize today that it's time for another surrender fast. I had to bite my lips a lot today. I had a lot of thoughts going through my head today, and I realized that I cannot delay anymore. It's time for another surrender fast. I don't have a lot of time to give you notice. From the 1st of March, why not journey with me? Have you having a lot of patterns and things happening? So as I sat down here this evening, and as I think about all that's been happening since the year ended last year, I recognize it's time for a surrender fast. So I'm inviting you to journey with me 40 days surrender fast. And as some of you know, I'm on a smoothie challenge. You can still join. I'm trying to raise funds also, not just for healthy choices, but to raise funds for my Pathfinders journey to Poland and beyond. Yes. Hopefully, we've had some bad news the last 2 days. We've had to lose two of our team members, so we're down to four from six. We didn't have a spare because we allowed a spare. So we're in trouble. But we also know that with God, we can do it. Okay? So we have 1 week to go. After this, tomorrow's Friday. We have 1 week to go, and we lost two of our members this week. So kind of motivated them last night, and I said, pull your socks up. We're going to have a rigid Saturday in the Bible, and not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord. So, what have you been going through these last few days? It's been really kicking you to the curb, really sewing up your life, really having you to just wrenching and wrenching. It's time to surrender. It's time to ramp up the prayer life, ramp up the praise, and go back on the surrender fast. So as I thought about going on the surrender fast this evening, I'm like, oh my goodness, when it's day two of surrender fast, life always get topsy-turvy if you're in my shoes. I'm like, well, how much more topsy-turvy can life be right now? But you know the answer to that. There's always room for more. Journey with me. Pull your socks up. Jesus is coming soon. And I know you're feeling the pinch like I have been feeling it. I haven't been able to surface. I'm just surfacing, and it's a challenge surfacing. So, see you on the 1st of March as we journey. No, we don't have long. You're right, it's 2 days' time, 2 days to go. 6, 7, 8. Tomorrow's 27, Saturday's 28, and you got it, Sunday's the 1st. So, we're going to ramp up our juice and smoothie challenge, and we're going to surrender 40 days of surrender. Now, ask me how I'm going to do that when I'm going to PBE for the weekend and I have a whole lot of stuff to do in March. But when I started my 70-day juice fast in 2012, I didn't even know that I was going to go on it. Just like this, it was a last minute thing. I just turned up and my new naturopath just said to me, hey, whatever you ate this morning was your last meal. Well, I didn't really eat anything this morning. That was my nothing was my last meal. And I was like, are you kidding me? And by the way, when we got to church, she was like, her husband was the chef at church, by the way, and he ate unhealthy. And now ex-husband. And he ate so unhealthy. And he was cooking all this fry up and cook up and pastas and stuff at church. And then she was like, you can either stop and eat that dead lunch, or you could come home and eat a salad I've been making for you. I said, she's been making a salad and it's not done. And she made this big, when I got home, I got a shock of my life at her house. So it was lunchtime. She came to pick me up at church. There was this big, you know, those enamel pudding pan that Jamaican call them, those pudding pans? Yes, this big one. She has this big one. That was a salad bowl mixer. And she had some leaves in it. Then she had some dried stuff that she dried. And then she was chucking everything in, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, you know, Claudia don't eat too much greens like that. No. I remember Wendy saying to me, do you mind a salad, Claudia? No, I just have enough. I just can't have salad twice a day. I just have to have it one. I can drink it. And normally, I mean, I've been doing well with my green smoothie because normally I have my green stuff first thing in the morning and that's it. No more green for me for the day. You know me, but I've changed, you know? I've learned to eat healthy and eat for diet and lifestyle. So she kind of chucked stuff in. She chucked some avocado, chucked some this, chucked some that. And I'm like, okay, this thing's getting bigger. Then she took out these two massive large plates and oh, she made some cashew sauce with cashew. So she blended some cashew and some avocado and some herbs and some spices, and that was helpful for that salad. Oh, I ate that salad. Oh, that was a first. I ate that salad and she said, that was your last meal. And I'm like, okay, what did I get myself into? But you know, I can be persistent. But that day when I got there, I was at death's door. My skin was gray. I was losing my memory. I was hot mess, waiting for some appointments. Doctor knew was wrong. I was toxic, really. She took one look at me and says, your system is toxic, shutting down, toxic. And then after that, we started talking and she talked about putting me in a juice fast. And I did some cleanse and some enemas and went home. She said, you're going to break out this week. And then she was telling me how to do the juices and stuff. And I'm like, anything bitter doesn't pass this mouth. I said, no, 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 I have to put some green apples in it. I said, which is it? Do you want me to stay on this thing? Or you want me to go home and quit? Which is it? Because two apples is not going to kill me. How about a piece of ginger and a piece of lemon in it too? Because if it doesn't taste good, it ain't gonna pass the throat. Okay. I was a hot mess. And she gave me a wheatgrass shot, I remember, and I was like, pineapple juice, please. I was screaming for pineapple juice. Tasted so bad. I remember the first time I had beet juice, it was like, what's that? Now, beet is one of my favorite juice. Talking about the taste bud changing. Many of you saw me when I came back to the UK. I looked different. I remember standing up on the pulpit because I preached shortly after coming back that weekend. And people were like, who is that? Yeah, I've lost about 4 dress sizes. As a matter of fact, and she told me you're gonna lose all the bad weight in 3 weeks. And I did. I lost 30 pounds. She said you're gonna stabilize, you're not gonna lose any more weight. I was going for a jog every morning. I started gaining my memory. And most of all, what I want to tell you about is was my mental clarity. Most people didn't like me because I said, I can see clearly now the fog is gone. I was just seeing people for what they were. My mind was so powerful. It was telling me things. I could hear God more clearly. My worship was bumped up. And I suddenly started to get back to a normal. What others saw was the weight loss. I mean, my trousers were falling off me. I mean, I had some jeggings and some skinny jeans, and I mean, for the size I was, I mean, I literally was belting them up like Gertie, you know, Jamaican talk about girt up waist. Yes, that was my jeans. And I refused to buy any clothes because I was waiting to come home to the UK to buy clothes here because I thought it was cheaper. One. And number two, I was like, I'm not buying no clothes. I'm gonna go home and I get clothes when I get home. And I was like, no, not buying any clothes. And I also wanted to go to my doctor that I'd left behind, and I wanted to not put any food in my body. So I ended up doing 70 days on a juice fast because I wanted my doctor that started testing me to test me and to see. I didn't want to put nothing in my body before I did all my testing. I did my testing on the US side, was my testing on the UK side, and to see what my doctor was about to say. I remember when I started after the first week, I broke out. By the time I got to our house, she said, are you coming to church? I said, no, I can't move. I was toxic. I broke out, as she said, my whole face was filled with bumps. I was a hot mess. I was nauseated. Everything was like it's in my stomach. And I just keeled over on her couch. She said, I want you to watch this video, sick, fat, and nearly dead. She left me there. She went to church and she came back and she saw me right on the same place she left me. She said, I haven't moved. I said, can't move. Can't move. I'm on my way out. She was such a powerful person. Bless you, Miss Ruby. Auntie Ruby, Mommy Ruby. Bless you. She said, you need another detox. She said, let's do it together. She finished her salt water flush, which is lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, and 6 or 4 ounces of warm water. I was there chewing up mine and vomiting mine while she had finished hers long before me and was already using the bathroom. And I was like, I'm totally wasted. But after I vomited or emitted and I started to feel better, I felt life start coming back to my body. And after I went and I went and used the toilet, I was squeaky clean. I felt squeaky clean, and I felt like my life was coming back to me. So I stuck to it. I saw a difference. People was wondering. I went to my 5 cup of 5 induction because it was 3 days after my juice fast started. Um, Bless the people who helped me in the library to put up my juice. I made a green juice in the morning. I made a carrot juice. Don't fancy that either. I with turmeric in it. I learned to make a V8 splash juice. I was just chomping on all sorts of juice. It had to taste good for me to be on there. Of course, there was no pineapple in it, and of course, I cheated. I had a pineapple juice in it. So that had to be my pick-me-up for the evening. I had a beet juice about 3 in the evening, and my pineapple juice was about 6 o'clock for dinner, and that was it for the rest of the day. I had ginger tea between that, and that was my meal for 60 days, 70 days. I remember I came to the UK in the May of that year, and when I came here, the doctor before that, when I went to the doctor that I'd seen first, he wouldn't see me because he said I was in such a bad state that he told me that I need to go seek therapy. The last time someone told me I needed therapy was when my mother died. I was in such a bad state, hadn't slept for days when I was at UTech. And the doctor wouldn't see me until I speak to someone because he said, you look horrible. Of course I look horrible. I haven't slept for days. Come on. I just lost my mom. So yes, so that was I went and the guy was cheeky enough to tell me that black folks don't like therapists. I said, listen to me. I said, you're stressing me out right now. I said, don't stereotype me as a black person. And please to speak for yourself and your culture, because he was Hispanic. And I was like, yes, some black folks, I said, but don't categorize me because I do not take tea to be generalized. And after going to him for the doctor sees me and I had to keep going back to this over the counseling department. It was at Andrews, going over there because the doctor wouldn't see me. Doctor was doing all these tests on me. He was waiting on this hospital in Chicago to come back to do the special test because he thought it was something else and it's a rare diagnosis and he wasn't sure what it was. He needed me to go to a specialist to confirm it, or I had to go to U of M, which is in Ann Arbor. Didn't know where it was then, but now I know where it is because I lived in Ann Arbor at one point. So U of M was just on the road. So I was waiting on U of M and the University in Chicago to come back to me, and none of them came back for months. And that by that time I was deteriorating. I was losing my sight. I started losing my memory. I was falling off the stairs, and all this thought one day I was coming down from the chapel and my laptop, the seal. Luckily, Kevin catch it for me. Thank you, Kevin. Bless your heart. And some people were happy that I was getting sick because they would get a better grades than me. Yeah. They don't know the power of my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But, and some people, well, one person said to me, you look sick. Your face is ash gray. I remember going to the chapel that day and I was like, God, make it quick. And if you know anything about me, I'm never happy to die. So for me to go to the chapel and say, God, make it quick, I was really at death's door. My body was toxic, really toxic, and feel like it was shutting down. I've lost my memory. I've never regained that photographic memory, and I've really missed that because I really love having a photographic memory. And I could read something and I could memorize it back, and I really miss that, if I get it, I get it. I can scan a chapter and regurgitate it like a photocopied book, and I really miss that that memory. And so I was didn't have a juicer, didn't have anything. Thank you, Ruby. I cannot stop thanking you enough. Ruby loaned me a juicer until I could order one. Thank you, Pastor. Who helped me look online, and he was an eBay fanatic, so he helped me find one on eBay. Oh my goodness. It was a journey. It was a journey of total surrender. And I remember after the first week of coming back and we, after vomiting again and started feeling alive, and another wheatgrass shot and another pineapple shot to cover me, poor thing. I felt like I could do it. I felt empowered because I felt different and I felt life coming back to me. I saw God come through for me in some amazing ways. Well, when we surrender to God, God comes through some ways for us. And I know God can come through for you. And when what people saw was my face that was glowing. I was looking younger. I was, after all the bumps and everything that break out on my face, clean up. At one point, my eyes color was lighter. It was getting lighter. People have done the juice fast and seen the eye color change. People who have those genes in them, blue, green eyes, even some people, their eye color totally change because that's in their genes. And when the toxicity lifts from your system, so here I am again at this juncture on this challenge, but sensing the need for surrender. And when we surrender, we make space and room in our heart for God. You cannot lose. Some of us, we want to change in our lives. Our world is going crazy. Jesus is coming soon. So I want to invite you, and I've said more than I'd planned to, on this surrender journey with me. What I'm saying is you don't need a lot of notice. God never gives me a lot of notice because he knows I'm going to complain about it. And I'm going to find all the excuse and the stuff where I can't do it. So when it came to mind this evening, I know just what I needed. I need some chains broken. I need some peace of mind, and that only comes with surrender. Whatever it is you're needing from God, a closer relationship, a more solidified walk with him, here is your opportunity to join me and Bell Parism Ministry for your next move and surrender with Jesus Christ. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for being Lord and God of our lives. Father, I don't know, God. So much has happened. So much is happening. But God, I surrender. I surrender to you, Lord. I ask you to wash me, wash us, cleanse us, Lord. And as we journey on this 40 days of surrender, God, here's our heart. Wash, cleanse, take charge, reveal unrevealable, cleanse what needs cleansing, Lord, that we can be in purpose and in alignment with you, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Won't you not join us on this journey of 40 days of full surrender? See you then.